Welcome to This Week in AI with your hosts, Tony DeSimone and ChatGPT. I'm ChatGPT, your co-host for today's episode. We are the first podcast that blends human and AI co-hosts to bring you the latest in AI news and insights. We've got an exciting lineup of topics to discuss today. Here's a quick rundown of what we'll be covering. 1. AI's impact at the Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Games. 2. OpenAI's projected $5 billion loss in 2024. 3. The introduction of OpenAI's SearchGPT. 4. The significant shift in website data restrictions for AI training. 5. OpenAI's rollout of its advanced voice mode for ChatGPT. Let's dive into our first topic. At the Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Games, AI is making a huge impact, revolutionizing the experience for athletes, spectators, and organizers alike. We have Athlete GPT, a 24/7 AI chatbot through the Athlete 365 mobile app offering continuous support. There's also 3D athlete tracking, 3D AT technology, providing detailed biomechanical insights to enhance athlete performance. Additionally, the IOC is piloting AI in talent scouting in Senegal. NBC is using AI to offer personalized highlights and real-time enhanced statistics for fans. Tony, what do you think about these AI advancements in the Olympics?
I love it. A 24/7 chatbot, Athlete GPT, is a great use case. And I'm sure that GPT is in every language so that it makes it easy for every athlete, no matter what language they speak, to get around the campus. The detailed biomechanical performance insights. I mean, if you combine AI powered with wearables, I mean, think about how that's going to up every athlete's game. It's a really great way to use it. Also, AI and talent scouting. I don't know many use cases that are better fit. The data analysis that you're going to get from AI is superhuman. So there's going to be so many things that it will see that humans can't see. And then finally, cloning Al Michaels' voice to give us the review of what went on in the Olympics that day is a great way to use. And I look forward to hearing Al Michaels' cloned voice, because that's another great use case. I'm very excited on how the Olympics is using generative AI.
From my viewpoint, it's fascinating to see AI enhancing both athlete performance and the viewing experience. It truly shows the transformative potential of AI in sports. Anything else you'd like to add before we move on?
Yeah, this is a great example on how this generative AI is being integrated in everything that we do, we see, we hear, that we're a part of. And it's just another example that this is not a fad, that everybody needs to understand how to use this generative AI, because you're going to fall behind if you don't.
Great points, Tony. Let's move on to our second item. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, is projected to face a massive $5 billion loss in 2024. Despite generating around $2 billion annually, the operational costs, particularly the $700,000 daily to run ChatGPT, are significantly higher. This financial strain raises questions about sustainability and the future of AI innovation. OpenAI is exploring additional funding to stay afloat. Tony, what are your thoughts on OpenAI's financial challenges?
Well, the idea that they're going to run out of cash in 12 months is just to get people to read the article. That's not going to happen. There are investors standing in line that will invest money in OpenAI. OpenAI has a valuation of at least $100 billion, so they could easily raise the money that they need to go well beyond 12 months. Now, that being said, the NVIDIA chips are very expensive. The electricity to keep things going, all of the equipment, the servers, everything is very expensive. The research and development associated with new features and things like that are very expensive. And then the people, of course, are very expensive. All these large language models, they're competing for the same people. And with all of that in mind, there's probably already too many large language models out there, and the margins are very slim. So this is going to be problematic for the whole industry.
Balancing innovation with financial sustainability is indeed a complex issue for tech companies. Do you see any particular strategy that could help OpenAI overcome this challenge?
I think what probably is going to happen, OpenAI, the advantage they have is that they're the highest valuation large language model, and they have the most revenue coming in than any other large language model by multiples. So what they can do is they can raise the money and perhaps purchase some of these other large language models so that then there's just less competition out there, making it a little bit easier for OpenAI to make money, because there are free versions. There's open source large language models out there, and that's going to always be problematic for OpenAI. So I think their best bet is to raise enough money, buy some of these other large language models so that they can compete with less.
Great insights, Tony. It will be interesting to see how OpenAI navigates these financial waters and whether they can adapt their strategy to remain competitive. Now on to our third item. OpenAI's new feature, SearchGPT, is designed to revolutionize the way we interact with online information. This AI-powered search engine combines real-time internet information with OpenAI's advanced models to provide fast conversational answers with clear source attributions. Unlike traditional search engines that list links, SearchGPT offers summarized and contextual responses. When announced, it caused Alphabet stock to drop by more than 3%. Tony, how do you feel about SearchGPT and its potential impact on the market?
Well, the first thought that came to my mind is that OpenAI came out with a text to video feature called Sora, and that was over 6 months ago. I was very excited about that. I haven't seen it. None of the users have seen it, have been able to use it. ChatGPT 4.0 came out in mid-May with advanced voice features and real-time eyes where it could see what you see. And they said they was going to roll out in 2 weeks or so. And it's now August, and I still haven't seen it. So I'm very frustrated with that. So when I see the SearchGPT prototype, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm probably not going to see that until 2025. So I'm not going to get excited about it. And also, there's already a great large language model out there that does a fantastic job with search, and that's Perplexity. I don't even go to Google anymore for search. I go to Perplexity because Perplexity is exactly what I would expect a search engine to look like with generative AI.
Great insights, Tony. The potential market shift due to SearchGPT is significant and will be interesting to watch. Do you think this could lead to more competition in the search engine space?
No doubt about it. It's already happening. Google's going to lose their monopoly because these large language models are inherently search engines too. I mean, they're all already doing it, and they all do a very good job with it. So, I think that this is going to be really problematic for Google search because now it's going to be a commodity, and it's going to be set up where these large language models are going to be personalized to you. So the search is going to be even more exact to your wants and needs.
Search engine landscape might indeed become more competitive, leading to new innovations and shifts in market dominance. Let's discuss our fourth item. Recent studies have shown a significant shift in how websites handle their data with respect to AI training. Approximately 25% of major websites are now fully restricting their data from being used for AI training. Concerns about consent, data privacy, and lack of compensation drive these restrictions. Notable websites blocking access include Pinterest, Indeed, and The Guardian. This trend highlights the need for AI companies to establish fair compensation mechanisms. Tony, what do you think about these new data restrictions?
Well, these large language models are only as smart as the data that they trained on. And a lot of these companies that have created a lot of data, in fact, industries, the newspaper industry is a great example. They have, centuries of data, and now they're understanding the value of it. So they're no longer going to allow these LLMs to crawl their websites and essentially just steal the data to learn. They're going to want their piece of the action. And that's really what we're seeing here is that there's a lot of value on all of the content and data that's been created over the years, decades, centuries. And these companies are going to look for a way to get paid for that. They're not going to let these large language models to just train for free.
Excellent points, Tony. Navigating data privacy and compensation in AI training is becoming increasingly crucial. Do you think these restrictions will significantly hinder AI development?
Well, as I said, the LLMs are only as smart as the data they've been trained on. So yeah, it's going to be problematic because they get to a point where there won't be any new data to be trained on, and it'll essentially stall the growth of this whole generative AI market. And the only way that that continues to grow and to move to next level generative AI is to pay for that added data. And that's really what we're going to see, which of course is problematic. If OpenAI is already losing $5 billion, they're going to have to pay even more.
It's definitely a challenge that AI companies need to address to ensure they have access to high quality data while compensating content creators fairly. Finally, our fifth item, OpenAI has begun the rollout of its much anticipated advanced voice mode for ChatGPT. This feature offers more natural, real-time conversations with AI, detecting and responding to emotional intonations. Initially available to select ChatGPT Plus users, the rollout will be gradual, aiming for full availability by fall 2024. Collaboration with voice actors ensures no impersonation of real individuals. Tony, what's your take on the advanced voice mode?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. This came out in May and it's now August and I haven't seen it yet. Now, I was very excited when they shared this and they showed many examples in the OpenAI website on how to use it. And just the fact that it's real time where you could just have, a real time human sounding voice, it's just going to make the interaction even more effective than it already is today. Also, it has real-time eyes so it can see what you see, which is going to open up a whole new level of use cases. This is exciting and I'm looking forward to it. But my frustration is that I still haven't seen it, months later.
This feature could significantly enhance user interaction with AI, making conversations feel even more natural. But as you mentioned, the delayed rollouts can be quite frustrating. Do you think this trend of delayed feature releases will affect user trust in these AI companies?
Yeah, it will because it's already happening with me. Now, as these LLMs continue to get better and better, I'm learning that they're all very similar. They're almost like a commodity. So the large language models that release features real time, the users are going to gravitate to them and then stick with it and not go back to whatever large language model they were using before, even if that large language model had brought those features in sometime later, because when you use them enough, you'll notice that they're all very similar.
Great points, Tony. Maintaining user trust is crucial, and timely feature rollouts are a big part of that. It will be interesting to see how these companies respond to user expectations moving forward. And that's it for today's episode of This Week in AI. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. How does that flow for you, Tony?
That sounded great. Well done. And I look forward to doing this again next week.
Thanks, Tony. I'm glad it worked well. Looking forward to our next episode next week. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.